steps can someone take in middle school or in high school to prepare them for a career in this field?
That is such a good question. I think that because therapy is something that you really use yourself as a whole person to kind of offer your support to someone. It's important. I think it would be important for a middle school or high school student to talk to their counselors or therapists to see what it is that they do, or you can observe them when they're at school. You can ask them about these things, like what you're doing right now, Vanessa. And other things that you can do is paying attention to your classmates and your peers. Like if someone says that, hey, I'm having a really hard time and I am feeling really sad a lot of the time, and or I'm feeling really anxious, or that I am not able to concentrate because this person is bothering me, that is something that you can kind of practice now to share with an adult, so that way they can connect the students to someone. And so those are, steps that you can take. It's a practice. And so yeah, there are many things that you can do. So those are a few things, but the other thing too is to also continue reading and learning. I think those are all important skills that you would need in this career.
Was this the career you wanted to pursue, or did you have something else in mind?
Actually, I didn't have this. I didn't really think to ever be a therapist. This was kind of something that kind of came to me later on in my adult life. What I actually wanted to do was to be a physician assistant, which is kind of like a doctor in the healthcare field. So actually, I wanted to be in medicine, and that was something that I was pursuing.
How old were you when you decided what field you wanted to work in, and how did you know it was the field for you?
That's a very good question. Yeah. Like when we're younger, a lot of people ask, hey, what is it that you want to do when you grow up? And sometimes when we're younger, like when we're 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, we might have different answers, right? We might want to be firefighters or doctors or the teachers, or different careers that we see, depending on what it is that we're exposed to, right? And so I actually just wanted to pursue a career in healthcare, because I thought that's like one of the ways to give back and to help people. And I found out later on that you can be in any field and still help people. So I think this is age is kind of something that you don't really you can think about what it is that you want and you can pursue it, and at the same time I think it changes when you're older. So for example, like I said earlier, when you're 5 you might want to be something different, when you're in elementary you might want to be something different, and in middle school you might want to be different, but or in high school, college, you might have different ideas of what it is that you want to be. So for me, I didn't know until actually a few years ago. I wanted to be, I was working in education and wanted to be a college counselor, and I kind of wanted to change. And so that shows you, and that you can change at any any point of your career, even if even if I'm doing something as a school therapist right now, I'm able to change later. So I hope that you be open to what it is that that you want to do in that moment. Explore it, give it a try, and then if it doesn't fit, then you ask yourself, what makes me more happy when I am choosing the work that I want to contribute to.
Um, what is your dream job, and would you trade it for your current?
Mm-mm. What is my dream job, and would I trade it for my current job? I have been thinking about this for the past few weeks, and I don't have a dream job. I mean, the closest thing that I can think to having a dream job is maybe living somewhere in the mountains near a waterfall and drinking tea or listening to music and garden all day. I think if that's a job, I I would maybe say that it's my dream job, and at the same time, I'm would I trade it for my current job? Maybe for like a week or 2 weeks, but I don't think I would trade it for my current job right now. So Vanessa, let me ask you a question. What are one or two major takeaways from this interview, from our conversations today?
Something that I learned from what you were saying about your job was that you help a lot of people and people with IEP, and you work with like people that have problems in their house. Yeah.
Cool. And Vanessa, do you have any other follow-up questions for Kim? Maybe some things that you weren't sure about or were curious about, wanted to know more about?
So when did you like know when you wanted to be a therapist? Like if you were like in high school, did you already know that you wanted to be a therapist, or you just chose it like later on?
Yeah, thanks for your question. Yeah, no, I didn't know that I wanted to be a therapist. I don't think I knew what a therapist was in high school, to be honest with you. Um, so I didn't know that I wanted to be a therapist until maybe a few, like 3 years ago. I was working as a counselor in a university, and I didn't like I knew I was helping students, and I didn't necessarily like that work. So I thought that, hey, maybe it's a good time for me to change it up. And I knew that I wanted to do that because I've done some of that work in the past. I've been a therapist in the past, and I felt like that was truest to myself. And so that's when I knew that I would want to become a therapist. Yeah. So I didn't know until later on, like just 3 years ago. 4 years ago.
Cool.
Thanks for your question.
Yeah, thanks. Vanessa, any other questions that come up? Cool. Well, all right, everyone. That's all the time that we have then. So thank you so much, Vanessa, for your questions, and for Kim for your time and all your responses. And we really appreciate all of this, and wishing you and your loved ones good health and safety throughout this time. And I think that's it. I'll stop the recording now. So thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.